get rid of Copenhagen. News, traffic, and weather. This is BCOP, BCORFM, and BCOE AM 1 Copenhagen. Good afternoon, this is Drawing Crescino in the BCOP 990 newsroom. In today's news, Minneberg State is addressing concerns of a rise of infections of the coronavirus. Governor John Barterbrick is saying that he's monitoring the situation, but is not further indicating any further decisions. A COVID-19 outbreak is linked to a mass gathering at a Democratic Party event in Hudson Village on a private country club in late July. 34 of the 125 minifigures who attended had tested positive of the virus. Texas Senator Ted Cruz compares the GOP to Charlie Brown. At the same vein, he's compared Lucy to Chuck Schumer.
Indexed for inflation, the United States government spent $4.1 trillion to win World War II. The Democrats, in 7 months, are spending more than double what we spent to win World War II. Charlie Brown, with Chuck Schumer being Lucy in the football. And you've got Republicans happily running, going, oh, he's going to keep the football, he's going to keep the football. And every time Lucy pulls the football up back.
In sports, the Green Studs lost to the Red Studs 7-3 in last night's game. Now traffic and weather together every 15 minutes on the quarter hours. Let's go live to Natalie Lozano at the BCOP Traffic Center. Good afternoon. We got a problem right now on 291 westbound. There was an accident at exit 7 just past the downtown stretch. Use caution there. Working clockwise around the region. Minneberg State Thruway. There is a delay on a disabled RV knocking down the right-hand lane. There's also a left shoulder lane on 93 southbound south of the city. Right now there is a vehicle on the left shoulder of the lane right now. Use caution. Transit is reporting on a closest schedule. Our next traffic update in less than 15 minutes on News Radio 990 BCOP. Our next newscast is at the bottom of the hour. Breaking news when it warrants. This is John Crescino in the BCOP 990 newsroom. More TechBeat next. If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949. BCOP 990 was a music station. It would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949. 231-272-9949. The following program on BCOP 990 is not representative of the management or employees of this station. Any device given on BCOP 990's airwaves should be consulted with a technical professional. BCOP radio cannot be held liable for any mistakes or errors caused by the talent or the caller in question. Thank you. And now, it's a Saturday afternoon news program from BCOP 990. This is TechBeat with your host, Steven Clickford, President at Clickford Media Services. Any questions regarding technology for your home or business? Call us now. And now, here's your host, Steven Clickford. And welcome. It is 2:06 on BCOP 990. I am Steven Clickford. I am the host of your news and information when it regards to technology. Now, I understand that there's going to be some angry people that the news wheel has been broken, but that was out of my control. I'm here to do a job, to do 2 hours of technology news and call-in information regarding technology in your office, your home, preferably your office. I'm not the biggest consumer expert, but I'll cheat my way through it. Along those things, my work is at clickfo.me, and I have done work for BCOP for a number of years, so it's a little bit of an exchange of content, I should say. All right, so basically, you can leave a comment or ask questions on our line. My Skype handle is StevenC236, but apparently I'm unable to get the Skype up and running right now, so just forgive me with that. All right, so typically on the first block or two on the wheel, because we're going to be approaching traffic and weather together at 2:17. So I'm going to just read some stories here. So there's a lot of things going on in tech, given what's going on with the coronavirus here. And one of the things that I've been concerned about is that my iPad it's about 5.5 years old, but it is, for whatever reason, it's starting to develop problems. And I think it's something a little bit, I think there's something more to it. And I think given how I put myself online, that maybe I'm a magnet of this Pegasus and activist, right? So CNET's reporting that every time there's a report of an iPhone or iPad exploit being actively distributed and used, it's unnerving. In July, it was revealed that security research discovered the evidence of Pegasus spyware being used on phones of journalists, politicians, and activists. The spyware can be remotely installed on a target's iPhone or iPad without the owner taking any action, granting the person or organization who installed it full access to the device and all the data it holds. This includes text messages, email, and even recording phone calls. Pegasus was originally designed by its creator, the NSO Group, to monitor criminals and terrorists. CNN News continues to report that I think it's only natural to wonder if your devices are infected when reports like this surface, even though there's no reason for any government entity to want to monitor my iPhone use. That is, unless they really want to know how much time I spend on TikTok every day. And in that case, they could just ask. Spoiler, it's a lot. For those who are curious like me, there's now a free tool uh, to check your iPhone or iPad with a few clicks of a mouse. To be clear, the odds of your iPhone or iPad being affected by Pegasus spyware are low, and various reports claim that the most recent software update, iOS 14.7.1, has fixed the exploit Pegasus was using, but it has not been confirmed by Apple. That said, if you want peace of mind, just in case knowing that your device is free from anyone spying on you, here's what you need to do. Download and install iMazing. Lowercase I, capital Mazing, app on your Mac or PC. Amazing has recently updated its Mac and PC application to include the Amnesty International's Mobile Verification Toolkit (MVT), built to detect signs of Pegasus on a device that isn't charging users to access the feature. Download Amazing on your respective computer from your company's website. Don't worry about buying the app. You can run the full spyware test using the free trial. After it's downloaded, install Amazing and open it. When prompted, select the free trial. How to run the Pegasus spyware test on your actual device. With Amazing installed and running, connect your iPhone or iPad to your computer using the appropriate cable. You'll need to have to enter in the lock screen code to get your device to prove the connection before proceeding. Something to keep in mind if your iPhone or iPad isn't showing up in Amazing. Next, scroll down the actions on the right side of the Amazing panel until you locate detect spyware. Click on it. Once iMazing begins analyzing your device backup, it will show you the progress display on each individual app, starting with iMessage. The app is using a database of known malicious email addresses, links, processes, names, and file names. When iMazing finishes, you'll see an alert with the results. In my case, my iPhone 12 Pro did not show any signs of infection and had 0 warnings. The alert also contained 2 buttons to open or reveal the report. I looked through my report and it contained a bunch of random links that meant nothing to me. What to do if the Amazing app says your device has signs of an infection? First of all, don't panic. It may be a false positive. Amazing asks you to send the report. Click on the Reveal Report to go directly to file to its customer support team that will do further analysis. The company does suggest, however, if you or a family member are active in politically sensitive contexts and have a positive report, to immediately remove your SIM card and turn your iPhone off. Well, this is an iPad, so once again, the odds of a true positive report are very low, but you will have to have some peace of mind. For security tips, double check these settings they recommend from CNET, and for added privacy, go through these steps. Another article from CNET, so I'll post this on the show notes here on the TechBeat. All right, our time is approaching 2:13. Other news in the technology world is that Apple will be reporting images of child sex abuse on its iCloud users to law enforcement. CNBC reported this on Thursday afternoon. Apple will report child exploitation images uploaded to iCloud in the U.S. to law enforcement, the company announced on Thursday. The new system will detect images called the Child Sexual Abuse Material or CSAM, using a process called hashing, where images are transformed into unique numbers that could correspond to that image. Apple says that the system is more private for users than previous approaches of eliminating legal images of child pornography. It uses sophisticated cryptography of both Apple servers and users' devices. However, the report says that before an image is stored in Apple's iCloud, Apple matches the image's hash against a database of hashes provided by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. That database will be distributed to in the code in iOS, beginning with an update to iOS 15. This matching process is done on the user's iPhone, not in the cloud, Apple says. But again, I could, there's a lot to dissect there. Apple will only review images that match the content that's already known in these databases, but will not be able to detect parents' photos of the kids in their bath, for example, as these images wouldn't be part of the National Center database. If a person is doing a manual review, concludes that the system did not make an error, Apple will disable the user's iCloud account and then send a report to the National Center for Exploited Children or notify law enforcement if necessary. Users can file an appeal to Apple to think that their account was flagged by mistake, an Apple representative said. The system only works with images uploaded to iCloud, which users can turn off, Apple says. Photos of other images on a device have not been uploaded to Apple services would not be part of the system. Some security researchers have raised concern that this technology would eventually use to identify other kinds of images, such as photos of a political protest, which is fair enough. Apple unveiled this feature on Thursday, along with other features intended to protect children from predators. In a separate feature, Apple will use machine learning on a child's iPhone with a family account to blur images that may contain nudity, and parents can choose to be alerted when a child's under 13 that receives sexual content in iMessage. Okay, there's a lot of things to be said with this, and I think this is kind of, again, we're not encouraging illegal behavior, but this is, it's kind of to the point where is Apple doing this with in all fairness, and I think there's a lot of things to be said with that. That was from a CNBC report. All right, without further ado, let's check our traffic and weather together every 15 minutes on the quarter hours and get the latest traffic report. And let's go right now to the traffic control center with Natalie. What's the latest? And good afternoon. We got a problem right now on 291 outside downtown on the tunnel right now getting out to westbound. There is a disabled vehicle on the right-hand breakdown lane. The right shoulder is closed at the moment. We do have another problem on the main state thruway south on exit 24. There's a disabled RV in the area. We're getting more information to see if there will be response to that. There is a delay, about a 5-minute backup right now on the area. No problems reporting the Metro Shoreline. 93 is clear, and transit reporting without a problem. Running traffic update in less than 15 minutes away on BCOP 990. Mario Bertino in the BCOP 6 weather center. We are having a nice day today. It's a little bit cloudy out, but the temperature should be warm today. 90 degrees in downtown, the heat index of 93. Tonight it will be a little bit milder than usual with some humidity. Lows will be in the middle 60s, upper 60s elsewhere. Right now the current temperature is 83, going up to 90 degrees with a heat index of 93. Mario Bertino in the BCOP 6 Weather Center. And this commercial message brought to you from Techie Crafts, technical craft goods for your techie person in your life. Visit techiecrafts.clickford.net. And if you go to techiecrafts.clickford.net/BCOP990.html, unfortunately, the way the site works, I can't do it as simple as it would be in another platform, but you can get additional discounts. So visit us, today. BCOP time on BCOP 990 is 2:19. We're going to take your calls in a couple minutes. If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949. COVID-19, or the coronavirus, is a pandemic according to the World Health Organization. The following is a public service announcement reminding you of the mitigation steps for COVID-19 or the coronavirus. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people that are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. If you're sick, stay home. Cover yourself when you cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects on a routine basis. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message has been brought to you by the Mini-Brick State Association of Broadcasters and this station adapted from the advice from the National Association of Broadcasters. And now, it's a Saturday afternoon news program from BCOP 990. This is TechBeat with your host, Steven Clickford, President of Clickford Media Services. Any questions regarding technology for your home or business? Call us now. And now, here's your host, Steven Clickford. And welcome back to the Tech Beat. More news this week. Um, More talk about Windows 11. I'll be giving you my opinion or my advice to people. But I just wanted to say I'm no longer actively in the technology space. It's just a lot of groupthink, a lot of being fair and open-minded fan of technology is not it's something that's not encouraged anymore, which is kind of unfortunate. Let's go live to one of our callers this um, this um, this Saturday afternoon on Saturday, August 7th, 2021. And let's get there in a moment. Let's go to Charlie. Um, I'm having problems here. Can someone please patch up Charlie, please? It looks like Charlie might have a Charlie horse. Charlie, you're on the air.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Charlie?
I wish you luck with your new program.
I appreciate it.
So I'm wondering that I'm concerned that my iPhone has been breached. What would you recommend me to remedy this solution?
The IMACING app, as I mentioned.
It's about, I think, 6 years old.
Yeah, how's your iOS device?
Oh, I think 6 years old.
Okay, so you might be able to
Okay.
update the iOS or
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
Okay, right. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Charlie. Thank you, Charlie. Let's go in a moment. Um, let's go to Lindsay. Lindsay, you're on the tech beat. How are you?
Steven,
Oh my goodness, Lindsay,
I
I
have.
I did not know that you would be calling into this show. I'm also the host of the Weekly Zoo, which I get these frequent callers that tend to troll on me, but it's okay. Just take the call, Lindsay. What's up, Lindsay?
I have a question.
Okay, Lindsay, what is your question?
So I have my Windows 10 laptop, and I was wondering, you say it's gonna go away soon. Can you tell me what should I do in a few years?
Well, Lindsay,
Okay.
I would just say start looking
Okay.
at Windows 11.
Thank you.
Um, Lindsay's she's actually calling from San Diego County, California, if you couldn't tell um, by her dialect. I would recommend that you look at migrating because there's not a lot of talk of what's going to happen with Windows 10 when Windows 10 gets deprecated by 2025, which will be here before you know it, as they say. Um, let's continue reading up some other stuff that you need to know. There is a lot of beta testing. You could get the free upgrade. I don't know why people, unless it's a consumer world, but I mean, a lot of us can't really be testing stuff. So CNET's telling you you can actually download an app called the PC Health Check, and it's going to come out in October, as soon as October. Which I mean, again, normally you wait to the first or even the second service pack. And again, I have the Windows XP mindset here. If you're already a Windows 10 user, which again, I guess you don't pay for anything anymore, I guess the upgrade to Microsoft's redesigned operating system will be free. Oh dear. You'll be able to update to Windows 7 the same way that you updated to Windows 10 unless you meet the minimum requirements. Of course, the minimum requirements are more than you should be slightly above the minimum because the minimum is just enough to get by just to even run it. It's not, it's, um, again, you have to be a member of the Windows Insider program, which is now apparently free, which you can download the Insider, um, the Insider edition, the beta versions, particularly this one will be really buggy. And of course, what they are not telling you is that it's basically uh, it's not going to be the right. You should never download a beta on your primary device, which again I don't like using that word. It's very consumerist. But you can download this now. You can do it in your settings, which wasn't that the control panel? See, I can't even remember this. You go to the Windows Insider program, click Get Started. Under Pick an Account to get started, you can choose your Microsoft account. You follow the steps to choose the experience and channel you want to get. Insider preview builds for the dev channel if you're a developer, which is really what you would use for. And then the beta channel for the early adopters, or the release preview channel for those who want to get released before it's generally released. Notice that this build is coming to the dev channel. I mean, again, people just don't have brains anymore, I guess. How to download it when it's general available, which again, I would not do this, especially if you're a small business. You really need to you need to have stable systems. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then the news will come in a moment. This is the Tech Beat with yours truly, Steven Clickford. music station. It would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949. At a Minneberg State Democratic Party event at a country club in Hudson Village in late July. 34 Island. Ted Cruz gives his grievances to the $4 billion budget relief bill, making references to Star Wars as the apparent pop culture nerd said on the Hill yesterday.
Are spending more than double what we spent to win World War II. This is reckless and it's unprecedented. As Admiral Akbar said in Star Wars, it's a trap!
In sports, the Green Studs lost to the Red Studs 7-3 in overtime. or excuse me, in extra innings. There's still some events going on with the Olympics. We'll report that to you at 4:15 on News Radio 9 on the BCOP. Let's go to Natalie Logano at the BCOP Traffic Center for the latest on the slowdown. Natalie Logano, yeah, got the latest here brought to you by from the Vincent News Center of Northern Minneburg. Natalie, what's the latest? We got a problem. We got a new problem, a new wreck on 291. Now this is at the border, exit, exit 21, right on the state line. You're advised to use the local routes if you can. Take those back ways, such as route 117. We do have a problem on the Kingenberg highway right now. There is some activity going on. There is some emergency. We're seeing this on our jam cam right now. We'll get you more information when it follows up. Transit's on our full schedule. Nothing to report on the Metro Shoreline as well. We have a traffic report every 15 minutes, approximately at the quarter hours on BCOP 990. The forecast for the BCOP Weather Center, it will be hot today. Highs near 90 with a heat index of 93 degrees in downtown, upper 80s elsewhere. Repeating current temperature, it is 83 going up to 90 degrees with a heat index of 93 in downtown Copenhagen. Our next newscast is at the top of the hour. This is John Cucino in the BCOP 990 newsroom.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949.
And welcome back to the tech wheel. The news wheel is broken. I know we're getting a lot of calls coming in. There may not be a lot of calls on today's show because people are complaining about the lack of news. Because we also have another show that runs at the before me, the senior finance program. But I just got to be honest with you that. We cannot take callers if they're just going to complain about the program here. We can't do that. So other things that I would we'll be talking about today is just disaster recovery. I think there's a lot of things that that is really a concern with a lot of the home businesses. If you do not have a system where you don't have backups, it's still very relevant. You should not rely on cloud backups. Those are the advice that I would recommend for people who are doing a lot of work, especially if you have especially if you have a lot of if you're really data heavy. Let's go to the phone right now and check in with Ray on news BCOP 990 on the TechBeat. Hello, Ray. Let's just put you on for a moment. I don't know why there is tones. Hello, Ray. You're on the air.
Hi, I have a question. So my phone company wants us to go into the cloud, and I'm a bit skittish about going into the cloud. Can you tell me what I need to know, and are the companies trying to pull a fast one?
All right. Well, first thing I would ask is who is selling, without going the names here on our end, who is the carrier? Is it something like a Ring Central or something along those lines? I'm trying to think of the other name offhand. Is it Ring Central or something like that?
Yep, it's one of those.
Okay. Did they offer you a network examination to see what kind of networks that you
Yeah,
had?
it's something like a cloud PBX.
Right. Okay, so that would roll it in. But did they give you something like an option to do a network checkup? How many networks do you have? How many devices? How many people? That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So how many people do you have, or devices
Yeah.
do you have?
No, they didn't give us any of that.
All right. Well, then that's going to be a problem because I would ask for your cloud PBX vendor to give you a network assessment because even if you are a big or small shop,
I'd say about 20, 25.
so you have like phones. Okay, so you have 25 phones.
I have one.
Right. I would do.
I'm not sure. I'm the owner of the business.
You're the owner of the business. All right. Well, I would have you consult with your IT people, your people
Okay.
that deal with the technology to really get that network
All right, thank you.
assessment. Yep, you're welcome. Because I'm going to tell you something right there that you got to make sure that your networks are, particularly if you're going to have VoIP, you're gonna have to have two routers. One for data, one for voice, and then you're gonna have to look at getting switches. They can get Staples. I mean, the Netgear Pro Safe. I recommend those. Those are my recommended on the recommended list. And what you want to do is you want to do virtual LANs, and that again that can depending on that type of configuration, you want to make sure that it's separate and that you put firewall, if especially if it's going to connect to the cloud, you want to have some type of proxy or firewall where all the SIP stuff, like your web stuff, you really should not have web traffic coming out of every device. It needs to be proxy, no matter how big or small your network is, because you may not need that speed that your ISPs are suggesting. Those are just my suggestions. They're my own only, and they are not representative of BCOP or its management, just to kind of remind our audience the boundaries here of the content that I give you advice to. Olympic watch. How many medals are we coming on here in America? And just to give you a quick check. We'll you'll have that at the moment. And yeah, because they're not doing a sports update. It's 2:43. We'll take some more calls after the break, maybe, or we'll just go live with the caller. What do you want me to do? Because I'm getting conflicting messages. Okay, yep. All right, we're gonna take a quick break in just a moment, and then we'll take some extra callers right now. Let's open up the traffic and weather together every 15 minutes near the Florida hours. And so the Natalie, the topic for Natalie. And good afternoon. We got a problem right now on 291 outside downtown on the tunnel right now getting out to westbound. There is a disabled vehicle on the right hand. The main big state thruway south on exit 24. There's a disabled RV in the area. We're getting more information to see if there will be response to that. There is a delay, about a 5-minute backup right now on the area. No problems reported in the Metro Shoreline. 93 is clear and transit reporting without a problem. Right, traffic update in less than 15 minutes away on UTLP 990. BCOP 6 weather server. We are having a nice day today. It's a little bit cloudy out, but the temperature should be warm today. 90 degrees in downtown, the heat index of 93. Tonight it will be a little bit milder than usual with some humidity. Lows will be in the middle 60s, upper 60s elsewhere. Right now the current temperature is 83, going up to 90 degrees with a heat index of 93. I'm Mario Bustino in the BCOP 6 Weather Center. Now 87 degrees in downtown Copenhagen. More TechBeat next.
COVID-19 or the COVID-19 or the coronavirus is a pandemic according to the World Health Organization.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949.
All right, this part of the Tech Wheel is brought to you by from TechieCrafts.clickford.net. If you're watching us on the live stream from our sister station BCOP TV, you can get this lovely little telephone, vintage telephone. It's just more of a wall magnet. You could get this as a magnet. This particular model doesn't have it, but you can visit techieCrafts.clickford.net/BCOP990.html, and those apologies for the use of that. You can get a discount by using that on BCOP 990. BCOP time is 2:47. Apologies, I'm not supposed to do is when they do a time check. Is that real? Because I'm not supposed to say news time when I'm doing this because it's not a news program, supposedly speaking. Let's take another break and then we'll get a commercial free block leading you up to the top of the news here on BCOP 990. BCOP time 2:47. Testing was free.
Okay.
BCOP news time 2:49, or exactly 2:50 on our clock. Let's go live to Ben in the truck here on BCOP, and he's got a couple questions regarding on how to get his Mac deployed to the way he wants it. And he's a two-person house, but he runs it like an IT operation. Ben, take the floor.
Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate you calling in to allowing me to call in. Wish you a lot of luck. So I have a question regarding my just trying to get an understanding on. I have a Mac that doesn't that that basically is a me after the time where I could image stuff. So what I would do is I would take my Mac and then all my settings and stuff like that, make a master image, and I have these big hard drives in the background, and I just don't know what to do in I need help here because you can't image things because you break your Mac. So what can I do instead of using?
Okay, so I just want to just come in right now that what you're talking about is basically the what you used to do with Macs was if you would install Mac OS off the shelf, whether it was over through the cloud, through the App Store, or whatever. And then what you do is you would take your Mac and then you go to disk utility. And one of the things that you would do is you would maybe reboot into another partition or on a thumb drive or something like that. And what you would do at that point is then you would create an image of it. So basically, if you had a 20 gig hard drive, 30, 40, 80, you basically make an image of that. And then what you would do is you could drag and drop it or use NetBoot or various tools like that. But as he's alluded to, a lot of the stuff is App Store, stuff like that. So what you can do, because I'm not on the latest and greatest Mac OS here, but one of the things you could theoretically do is take your Mac, and if you install all your various stuff, then make a disk image of that. But instead of dragging and dropping it into, what I would do is I would make a copy of that on an external hard drive or partition. Okay, how big is your hard drive?
About 4 gigs, terabytes, excuse me, 4 terabytes.
Okay, do you have that partitioned?
Yes, sir.
Can you erase that data on that drive? Is it precious?
Nope.
Alright, so what I would do is I would take your Mac and then image it. And what I would do is turn that partition into take that image and put it in a partition. So if you got, like, how big is your startup disk?
I would say about I would say a terabyte.
Alright, so that's perfect. You could split them up into 500 gigabytes or whatever. Again, just make sure your core stuff's on it, right? Because I'm assuming that's where you're coming from, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so what I would recommend that you would do is that you would take your drive and copy that into that partition. So then when you go to your migration assistant, it's going to ask you to transfer stuff from another partition. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
And that's how you would deploy your Macs. That would be my recommended thing if you have a Mac that is made after 2016.
So what you're telling me is that I should back up the what you say is that I take a Mac that's off the shelf that I bought new or something like that, install my stuff, then I use disk utility, copy what's on my disk onto my external drive, and it basically would act like a live drive, correct?
Exactly, yep.
then I use the migration assistant to copy the stuff back into or copy it. So it's really that I can't.
That would be the easiest thing that I would recommend, so you wouldn't have to worry about imaging stuff. Because really, the best practice that Apple wants you to do is to use stuff through the cloud. I think it is. And then if you use Time Machine for backup, as you said, you have two Macs that you're managing, correct? Or you're using.
Yep.
Then that would be pretty sufficient. In fact, the way that you're asking me is something that I should practice myself. I mean, this is hypothetical. I've not been able to independently verify this, but if you have a Mac expert, they could probably help you with that. Okay, is that all?
That's all.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Rob in the truck. Rob, you're on the TechBeat. What's your question?
Hi, I have some questions regarding uh, Windows 11. Should I upgrade the moment it comes out, or should I wait?
I think you know that question, right? I think.
I just was checking. I was just checking to ask.
Well, my answer would be to make sure that you are really being really careful, um, making sure you wait for at least 4 months in. I would think because once you upgrade, you can't roll it back. And I've known people who have used Windows 7 or 8 and got the magic update, and they couldn't stop it in time. So this is something you really need to be careful with because I really think it's just Windows 10 with prettier packaging. It's really an unfortunate situation, the way that Microsoft is not feature oriented. It is 2:56. Let's take another call. Jen, you're not Jen. Um, oh, okay. Joey's coming up next. Joey's an out of town caller, I believe. Joey, what, what what's your question for TechBeat?
Hey, I wish you all the worst luck with your show, all the technology fields, because you just really, really, really suck at what you do.
Okay, okay. All right, hold on. Just get on with your question, please.
I think the government's spying on everybody because the government has nothing better to do to spy on people. Use an Android, and anyone who uses an iPhone is a sheeple, and there's no fix for stupid people.
What do you do for a living, Joey? Where are you calling from?
The real Interstate 87 in North Carolina, heading to the liberal part of Raleigh, which I don't really care for.
Okay, Joey, all right, I have less than a minute left. Can you just get to your question? Do you have a question?
How do what's the best way to get the government from spying on me?
Okay, well, if you have well, what are you trying to hide? I mean, where are you heading in that part of North Carolina for? Is it for some special group that people?
The president,
Is the,
uh, the president thinks I'm a special person. The real president is Donald Trump. So, unless the government wants to spy on me.
well, I do you want to go on hold for a moment, Joey, and then we can take your following question. Yeah, let's put Joey on hold while we get you to the top of the hour news on BCOP Copenhagen.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-8255 9949 231 272 9949. In the spirit of Copenhagen, news, traffic, and weather. This is BCOP, BCOR FM, and BCOE AM 1 Copenhagen.
Good afternoon, this is Drawing Crescino in the BCOP 990 newsroom. In today's news, many Brick State is addressing concerns of a rise in infections of the coronavirus. Governor John Butterbrick is saying that he's monitoring the situation, but is not further indicating any further decisions. A COVID-19 outbreak is linked to a mass gathering at a Democratic Party event in Hudson Village on a private country club in late July. 34 of the 125 minifigures who attended had tested positive of the virus. Texas Senator Ted Cruz compares the GOP to Charlie Brown. At the same vein, he's compared Lucy to Chuck Schumer.
Indexed for inflation, the United States government spent $4.1 trillion to win World War II. The Democrats, in 7 months, are spending more than double what we spent to win World War II. Charlie Brown, with Chuck Schumer being Lucy in the football. And you've got Republicans happily running, going, oh, he's going to keep the football, he's going to keep the football. And every time Lucy pulls the football up back.
In sports, the Green Studs lost to the Red Studs 7-3 in last night's game. Now traffic and weather together every 15 minutes on the quarter hours. Let's go live to Natalie Lozano at the Detroit Traffic Center. Good afternoon. We got a problem right now on 291 westbound. There was an accident at exit 7 just past the downtown stretch. Use caution there. Working clockwise around the region. Minnebrook State Thruway. There is a delay on a disabled RV knocking down the right-hand lane. There's also a left shoulder lane on 93 southbound south of the city right now. There is a vehicle on the left shoulder of the lane right now. Use caution. Transit is reporting on a closest schedule. Our next traffic update in less than 15 minutes on News Radio 990 BCOP. Our next newscast is at the bottom of the hour. Breaking news when it warrants. This is John Crescino in the BCOP 990 newsroom. More TechBeat next. Forecast from the BCOP Weather Center. It will be today will be hot and humid, low 90s for the heat index. The temperature will go to 90 degrees in downtown, upper 80s elsewhere. Tonight, sticky night in the upper 60s in downtown, mid 60s elsewhere. Tomorrow, thunderstorms likely tomorrow in late afternoon. Highs will go up to the mid 80s downtown, lower 80s elsewhere. Repeating the current temperature, 87 going, we're at the high 87 today in downtown Copenhagen. BCOP, the time on BCOP 3:03. The Tech Talk will continue momentarily.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949.
The following is a public service announcement reminding you that Mitigation steps for COVID-19 or the coronavirus. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people that are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. If you're sick, stay home. Cover yourself when you cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects on a routine basis. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message has been brought to you by the Mini-Brick State Association of Broadcasters and this station adapted from the advice from the National Association of Broadcasters. The following program on BCOP 990 is not representative of the management or employees of this station. Any device given on BCOP 990's airwaves should be consulted with a technical professional. BCOP radio cannot be held liable for any mistakes or errors caused by the talent or the caller in question. Thank you. And now, it's a Saturday afternoon news program from BCOP 990. This is TechBeat with your host, Steven Clickford, President at Clickford Media Services. Any questions regarding technology for your home or business? Call us now. And now, here's your host, Steven Clickford. Here on BCOP 990, thank you for listening to the show. We'll see how long this show will last with the news wheel. It's running a business is very difficult, especially when you're no longer owned by a bigger chain. So they wanted me to come on, but we had Joey from Interstate 87 in North Carolina, not to be confused with the New York State Thruway, and he's got some questions, and he's paranoid. So I'm going to have to give him advice that he may not like. And Joey does talk to my other show. Joey, what makes you worry so much that someone's coming after you personally? Am I on? His audio's a little bit. Can we open him up? Alright, let's check it. Joey, you're on the air.
I think the government's coming after me, and I just want to make sure that I am completely protected because the government is not going to get into your butt.
Hold on, Joey. You can't go there on this show. What's your question?
I think the government's coming after me, so give me some drills and toys so I can get rid of these zombies.
Okay, Joey, you're gonna disconnect Joey because you can get really colorful with his opinions. He doesn't stand for anything, to be quite honest, when you listen to him on my other show. Joey, so one of my advice is you can go and get a VPN provider, or better yet, you could go buy a security certificate and get your own VPN router. There's multiple options out there. I recommend a commercial app, and I know you don't like commercial packages, but sometimes it's better to do it that way. Alrighty, let's go and talk about some. We got some. I could take this call. This name is let's go to what's it? Michael. Michael, you're on the TechBeat show. What say you, Michael?
Hey, what's up? I listen to you on the other show, so I thought I'd give you a call on your show and meet people we never met in real life here. I have a question. Can you tell me, I'm looking for love too, because I know we talk about on your other show.
Yeah, careful about that. I don't want you. I don't want the management to hear too much about the other show, because then they'll make me neuter the other one. So, just get to your point.
Yeah. So I was just wondering.
You okay over there, dude? I think we lost Michael. All right, we'll get Michael to come back on if he didn't drop dead with that. 'Cause I was having a little. Let's go next. All right, that's all we have for calls right now. All right, so here's my tip of the week here. My suggestion is if you're a hoarder of desktop stuff, I recommend that you need to get it organized on your desktop. I know you want to log in, you want to see all your stuff, particularly if you want to like use it to like screen grabs. I know with Mac OS it normally defaults on the desktop, but the problem is, do you realize if you're a Mac user how much that might be an issue? So here's a recommendation I would recommend. Create a couple folders for your screen grabs, and then if you are saving stuff to the desktop as like a buffer, create a folder called the buffer if you're moving stuff from a file share, a file share or something else along those lines. So you're not inherently causing your desktop and your file shelf to get overloaded. There's really no need to have stuff on your desktop unless it's like screen grabs or stuff that you're moving from a file share. But just keep it in another folder. That would be my recommendation. The time is 3:11, and we're brought to you by from TechCast, techcast.clickford.net, and use the promo code BCOP990 on the Etsy checkout for more to get your discount. Let's go next to Jessica. Jessica, you're on the weekly zoo. Jessica, what say you? Okay, I'm having some problems. All right, let's head down to all right, we're gonna. This is the first day we're gonna have some technical problems. Let's go to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll try to regain our lost callers here and try to come up with some content here. Apologies for the problems here. It's day one. We'll take a break. BCOP. This time on BCOP 312. Welcome back. One more minute. All right, let's go back to the phones. We got Michael on the show here. Like he said, he's kind of trying to promote himself on other shows here. But hey, what do you have to say? You said that you like to meet new people, and you can't do that on Facebook, kind of thing. I kind of know what you're getting at.
Yeah. How do I engage in I'm really kind of like I need to talk to somebody. This COVID, COVID, Rona, or COVID Rama. It's just making me go antsy. How do I talk to strangers?
Okay, so Mike just hung up, I think. Mike, I think your approach would be kind of it's a little bit unusual, but right now I know everyone's getting antsy with COVID and just with the way that their variant. Mike Rowe right now, there's some stories on Mike Rowe who's like basically not endorsing vaccination. Why are we not surprised? He's kind of a fringy guy. Um, but my recommendation is to kind of um, I don't know. You're stumping me. This is something that we don't, we don't want to be endorsing. This is a family radio station, so I want people to be aware of that. Let's let's get to our traffic update. We're approaching the 15-minute mark. It is 3:15 here on BCOP 990. Let's go and get Natalie at the traffic desk. She's got some latest on the lowdown on the slowdown. Natalie, you're coming up in just a few seconds here. Let's just um, we're approaching that. You're brought to you by from the Brickville Auto Group here. What's the latest, Natalie? Natalie, you're open. And good afternoon. We got a problem right now on 291 outside downtown on the tunnel right now getting out to westbound. There is a disabled vehicle on the right hand breakdown lane. The right shoulder is closed at the moment. We do have another problem on the main big state thruway south on exit 24. There's a disabled RV in the area. We're getting more information to see if there will be response to that. There is a delay, about a 5-minute backup right now on the area. No problems reported in the Metro Shoreline. 93 is clear, and transit reporting without a problem. Right, traffic update in less than 15 minutes away on UTLP 990. This is Mario Bertino in the BCOP 6 Weather Center. We are having a nice day today. It's a little bit cloudy out, but the temperature should be warm today. 90 degrees in downtown, the heat index of 93. Tonight it will be a little bit milder than usual with some humidity. Lows will be in the middle 60s, upper 60s elsewhere. Right now the current temperature is 83, going up to 90 degrees with a heat index of 93. I'm Mario Bertino in the BCOP 6 Weather Center. Coming up next after the break in 2 minutes, we're going to talk to another caller who has a question with regards to getting a enterprise class computer, a notebook. I think he's asking for. So we'll get that after the break here on BCOP 990. It's 3:18.
BCOP 990 was his music station. It would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949. 231-272-9949.
Alrighty, we're gonna go to our another caller here. His name is J- J- um, excuse me, John. Sorry, should be easy to remember. John, you're on the Tech Beat with yours truly. What do you have? What do you have to what you want to challenge me with today? Oh, if I could get you on the air. Hello. Oh, I gotta open up the microphone. Sorry about that. You're on the air, John.
Thank you for taking my call. I noticed earlier that you had this necklace. Or what's that necklace?
Oh, it's a necklace from my other half who died over a month ago, and I just hold on to it and live her legacy.
Okay. Sorry about that. I just what's that? What is it?
It's the icon to the SCSI icon that used the hard drives used to tie up with.
Oh, I see. All right. So I have a question. I'm looking for. I need to get a new computer, and it's required by my environment. I wouldn't want to buy a new one. What would you recommend me?
So what's your application? Let me without getting too techy with you. What is your main goal with it? To just consume or do stuff?
I do a lot of contractor work, so a lot of it is paperwork, database, and stuff like that.
Is the database going to be local, or is it going to be accessing some cloud or some host remotely?
It's some of it's on my computer.
All right. So, are you doing anything that requires graphic design or any of that things along that nature?
No, sir.
Okay, so that rules down the kind of laptop. So what you're looking for is more of a business notebook. So what I would recommend with that is basically something like a ThinkPad. So you want to get like the T series. Let me see if I can call that up on my screen here. I won't be able to share it on the feed here. So but we can do some cuts and post work. Let me do this for you and pull this up on the screen here, and then so you're looking for a laptop. Now you're looking for a business class notebook, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're not going to be able to get that in a store. You're familiar. You would be.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that helps out. So what you're looking for is let's try to find a ThinkPad for you. ThinkBook. Oh, that's a new. Oh, those are. I wouldn't recommend the ThinkBook. I recommend the ThinkPad. I would get the T series or X series. Now the X series is ultra portable. There's a bunch of different ones. Let's see if you'd be interested with. Do you need something with a big screen?
I need to move with a big screen.
Okay, so if you need something with a big screen, I would look for the 15-inch model, which would lead me down to the T series. Let's see. Let's look at how heavy are you looking for? Do you mind a heavy one or a lighter one?
If it does the job.
So you're looking for more like a midline?
Yeah, middle of the road? Yeah, sure. Okay.
So I'm looking down here. There is the T, and again with Lenovo, you can get a customized model. You can customize the living daylights out of it. If I can show some pictures here. To me, the T series would be the safer bet, and like I said, this would be more to do computations, not for graphic design, not for video editing, not for graphic design. And I'm having problems here, so let me. The T series, you do get that traditional ThinkPad look and feel on the cover, but I don't think you get that across the whole thing. So I would right now, if you have a pen or a pencil right now, I would say the T15, the T 15. Um, it does have a discrete graphics, but you can also get one with Linux too. Just an FYI, if you I need Windows, so all right, so that will rule that out of that. So yeah, that's the option you can get. And right now, Lorna was trying to badger me for stuff. All right, thank you for the call. Let's go. Um, let's talk about just various stuff, technical application discussions coming up next here on BCOP 990 with particularly what you're hearing a lot in the industry, particularly in broadcast, since I'm doing media production stuff. So I want to talk about that in a few moments. So just an FYI, your local news update is going to come at the bottom of the hour, and then I'll be back on at after the break here on BCOP 990. BCOP time is coming up at 3:27 on the dot. Welcome back to BCOP Radio. It is 3:29. The temperature will be going up to 90 degrees in downtown Copenhagen with a heat index of 93. Tonight will be sticky tonight, tomorrow. A chance of thunderstorms in the late afternoon. The high will be in the middle 80s, upper 80s elsewhere. Repeating current temperature at 87, going up to 90 in downtown Copenhagen. BCOP, we're approaching the news. It is 3:30 on BCOP 990.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949.
Good afternoon. It's the bottom of the hour. I'm John Crescino in the BCOP 990 newsroom. The current temperature is 84, going up to 90 degrees with a heat index of 93 in downtown Copenhagen, upper 80s elsewhere. Our top story at the bottom of the hour, the Maybrook State is addressing concerns of a rise of infections of the coronavirus. Governor John Bartenberg said he's monitoring the situation but has not indicated any further decisions. A COVID-19 outbreak is linked to a mass gathering at a Maybrook State Democratic Party event at a country club in Hudson Village in late July. 34 out of the 175 who attended has tested positive. It is unclear if all many figures had been inoculated. Senator Ted Cruz gives his grievances to the $4 trillion budget relief bill, making references to Star Wars as the apparent pop culture nerd said on the Hill yesterday.
Are spending more than double what we spent to win World War II. This is reckless, and it's unprecedented. As Admiral Akbar said in Star Wars, it's a trap!
In sports, the Green Studs lost to the Red Studs 7-3 in overtime, in extra innings. There's still some events going on with the Olympics. We'll report that to you at 4:15 on News Radio 990 BCOP. Let's go to Natalie Logano at the BCOP Traffic Center for the latest on the slowdown. Natalie Logano, yeah, got the latest here brought to you by from the Visiting News Center of Northern Maybrook. Natalie, what's the latest? We got a problem. We've got a new problem, a new wreck on 291. Now this is at the border, exit 21, right on the state line. You're advised to use the local routes if you can. Take the back ways, such as route 117. We do have a problem on the Kingenbergis highway right now. There is some activity going on. There is some emergency. We're seeing this on our jam cam right now. We'll get you more information when it follows up. Transit's on our close schedule. Nothing to report on the Metro Shoreline as well. We have a traffic report every 15 minutes, approximately at the quarter hours on BCOP 990. The forecast for the BCOP Weather Center, it will be hot today, highs near 90 with a heat index of 93 degrees in downtown, upper 80s elsewhere. Repeating current temperature is 83, going up to 90 degrees with a heat index of 93 in downtown Copenhagen. Our next newscast is at the top of the hour. This is John Cucino in the BCOP 990 newsroom. Welcome back to the TechBeat here on BCOP 990. This is our beta show, so this is going to be a little bit of a new experiment here with BCOP. I know we're getting a bunch of calls today about the content here, but we appreciate if you can please not refrain calling the studio line for that. Right, so I'm going to talk and divert myself a little bit, and since we are on a news gathering account here, that I'm going to just, if you're watching the web stream, you're going to see my head right now, because I'm going to try to get a display capture here, and I should have done this on the break, but I needed to eat. We had some technical problems getting this show on the air. It was really concerning because we didn't know we would get a show up and running. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is going to show you how to build a better production environment. I hope you people will enjoy this segment on the show here, and as I can kind of get this up here. All right. Well, we can do this because we'll have 8 minutes for 3:38. Yeah, we got traffic and just I think it will be at 3:47 here on BCOP 990. Let me. There we go. All right, is this window or is that display? That's not. I don't like that one. Alright, hold on here. Let's do display one. You're just seeing. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Alright, get the high res here so you guys can see the whole picture. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Oh, keep it up here. I should have had a caller calling in here, but that's alright. Let's go move that back. Move it to display one. Alright. So now I'm going to show you how to do a better job at particularly when you're doing live streaming. And I'm not. Some of you might have seen me do a report on Channel 6 back in 20, was it 17 at the NEB show? And with Floria Petrucci. That was a long time ago. We may have her come on our show here. But I wanted to, was I going to do B&H or should I, let's show you, there's different types of tripods. And for me, I don't like the tripods that you typically get at like for your camera. I mean, it's for this. All right, let's explain to you what a tripod does. I'm gonna try to get this situated here. You have different types of tripods. You've got these little guys with the flexing arms. I use that for when I'm doing holding my big camera. Then you have these basic ones. This one you'd see on Amazon. I don't recommend Amazon. But if you look closely over here, and this is probably common to these entry-level cameras, is that it's a small head. Some of them are particularly Manfrotto, if I could get the name right. Um, they tend to be designed for photographers, so that handle that you see over here typically is not really good for panning or tilting. I don't really care for this. This Magnum BT300, this is the one I got actually here on the studio, and this is pretty good. This one's, excuse me, you can get it for about $80. I don't know why it's showing Canadian on the bottom of my screen here, because I know I'm here in America. Um, but this is pretty good. This holds up to 15 pounds, so you can use a camcorder. It can handle most modern camcorders. The shoulder mount ones, it depends. But you'll see a fluid head, and what that means is it's got a spring, and inside it's got fluid, and those kind of things tend to um, um, give you better smooth shots when you're panning and you're tilting, because you got all this lubricant and a spring, and then it's tied to a screw thingy that will adjust its tension. They're a little more expensive, but you get a much better control on the weight and the ability to not worry about the camera, you know, falling down, because it's that kind of thing. So this is the one that I own, and I got it B&H about a year ago, and it's worth it. But I did splurge a little bit more, and I'm gonna now search for video tripod, and oh, spell it wrong. um, you get the O backwards. Now, the video tripods are typically what you see with field reporters and journalists and things alike. And the one that you typically see is the brand with, at least with broadcasters, it's Sachtler, but Sachtler is no cheap brand. You could go on iCan, and there's yeah, this one's iCan, and they typically are the ones that have multiple legs, or they might have multiple legs at a certain point, and it goes to a single leg. Um, the other thing is where the spreader is located. So if the spreader's in the middle, it's not going to hold the weight, because again, your weight of the camera at this point, when you get to the heavier duty ones, if it's windy outside, you're not gonna that it's gonna probably topple over. But if you're in a situation where you know you're you want to make sure the tripod's heavier than the camera, not the camera being heavier than the tripod. So even though the camera's tripod head, for example, this is the tripod head, um, they um, will claim 15 or 20 pounds, but never go over that. Um, because then if you notice your tripod's head like easily goes down or easily goes up, that means that the head is not designed for that. These guys have their balls, so basically the difference between this and the other tripod I showed you is basically that this head can be removed. So you could put another type of head where you could adjust its head where it could go up or down. But basically, the bowl is basically the base of the tripod where you screw something in to secure the head. So that's the difference, and it's really designed for video applications, not necessarily for photo. And here I'm talking mostly um, video. And like I said, there's multiple brands out there. They're the ones with the multiple legs. So again, to build that weight, um, again, they don't come cheap. They're much easier to put up and put down. You know, they either got a dial. The one I have has a dial to it, screw, and so they vary. But notice that this spreader's on the bottom because this max load is 33 pounds. So that's where the weight is going to basically, and then you could put any head. It doesn't matter what brand it is. If it meets that 75 millimeter um, 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 diameter, then that's, I think, an inch and 3/4, if I'm not mistaken. So another thing too that I've noticed, a problem, is that people are microphones, and so if you're doing a live shot, if you don't have a camera and you got something, say like you got your web camera. I mean, not recommended. It's recommended to use an external camera and a microphone, but really things like lavalier mics. So this is where I'm gonna go. Go to bmh.com. If I spelled it correctly, oh, I did not spell the URL correctly. Be careful. This is how you get malware. So I'm gonna go to BMH. It's bhphotovideo.com, but so I'm going to go to we're doing Pro Audio. So there's a couple things I recommend. One is lavalier. If you're gonna use a lavalier mic, I recommend you do not get this Rode, and this is tacky. What not to get. So this Rode microphone solution is common amongst a lot of the YouTube influencers, and you'll see quite often because it's got an integrated microphone. But if you see where is it? There is a mini XLR port which you can plug in a regular lavalier mic. This looks really tacky. I understand content creators have issues at times, but the best mic I recommend is something like this. This is one of many you can get. Clip-on mics, Radio Shack uses Lisa. I like one with a length your cable so you can actually not be right at your camera and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I would recommend to you. And this is like your Radio Shack grade, but I mean something better than using your integrated microphone. Also, for your if you need to hear feedback from your field people, I recommend that you get some form of IFB. The cheapest IFB is your earbuds that come with your iPhone. But another one is they call it headphones, but they're not even earphones. They're really called IFB earpieces. They come in different shapes, but anyways, I'm kind of going over my time right now. BCOP News. I'm 3:47. It's time for traffic and weather together every 15 minutes, and let's go live to the traffic center for the very latest. Natalie, you got the latest report. What is the latest slowdown on the slowdown? uh, 90 degrees in downtown with a heat index of 93. Tonight it will be a little bit milder than usual with some humidity. Lows will be in the middle 60s, upper 60s elsewhere. All right, now the current temperature is 83, going up to 90 degrees for the next day. I'm Mario Pespino in the BCOP 6 Weather Center. And apologies for that handoff. We didn't open up the proper channel for that. We're going to take a quick break and then wrap up this first episode, our first edition, with some thoughts regarding to with the future, the near future with where all the technology is going for streaming and stuff of that subject nature. So just stay with us in a moment. BCOP News Time 3:50. What, set. Be a good phone. Set. I'm tangled up with all the cables. That's why. All right, welcome back to the Tech Beat here. I'm yours truly here. Wrapping up some of the stuff that I've been privileged to go to the National Association of Broadcasters and did some stuff for some other content creations I did. And there's it was interesting. I went to the last one was 2019, right before the pandemic, and I went to both the broadcast and the the engineering part, and I thought really it was like learning insanity, and in some ways, it was kind of it was kind of like a weird timing or a coincidence that they they were preaching all this IP stuff when it was still very um, um, still considered to be lo-fi technology, but now you're seeing it ubiquitously in the broadcast environment. But I want to be really honest here and say that just because we are watching people in their homes and all that, it doesn't justify this to be the normal going down the road. I think people really need to. I mean, I'm not saying that we should reopen the economy indiscriminately, but I just think that putting everything indiscriminately on these routers and network based technologies, computer networks. When they developed this technology back on July 4th, I believe the final project for the original DARPANet was in July 4th of 1969. It was under budget and on time, but the problem was they didn't like telecommunications nature of the 5.9 reliability and things like that. So they really um, that reliability is never really encouraged in the world of IT. So I really do think that the technology industry needs to kind of do both. And a lot of the engineering people that those old grizzly types. I know people will laugh at them, but I think unfortunately those people are going to get retired, and then their skill sets are not going to be valuable because the IT nature of groupthink and the latest and greatest and stuff like that will be the norm. And I think it's really unfortunate going forward with this groupthink. Um, but their solution is if you use standard-based technology, it will fix all the problems. I don't believe that. To be honest with you, I think you need to have we need to allow diversity of ideas, and that's why I'm not in the technology world anymore. I'm just doing this to use my expertise to help you out to figure out how to make stuff your way, or actually be the next broadcaster, since broadcasting technology is kind of going out. It's 3:55, and we're going to finish up with this show. I am running a loss on my rundown here. How much time do I have? How much time do I have left on the show? Okay. Oh, so I'm gonna end at 50. Alrighty then. I did not realize. I thought I was going right at the top of the. I am going to the top there, so I have 2.5 minutes left. Alright, so I'm gonna just wrap up the show and say thank you for anyone that's watching this. Thank you for watching it. Thank you for all the stuff. Thank you for BCOP Radio for allowing me to break the news wheel and provide you meaningful technology advice. I really hope it did something for you, and hope that you got informed. And to stay with BCOP Radio, I may provide some tech hits for the station and probably on the TV side as well. I haven't spoken to the people on the TV side. My job is to make sure you guys are better informed so you make a better decision, and I hope I've done my part for that, and I hope I do that in the future. It's really hard to do multiple things for multiple constituencies. It's a difficult. It sometimes can be really challenging. So I got a minute and a half. It's funny how I will go over some cases and then go under in some ways, but I hope that this will be and again for people who are watching the stream on the TV side, I will be making the set a little bit more lively in the future. So just give me a chance on that. And I'm kind of running out of ideas. I'm running out of time in the moment. Actually, I'll do a hit for the Techie Crafts. I meant to do this. This is techiecrafts.clickford.net. You get one of these guys. Don't know what the price is, but this is one of my favorite. I'm really crafting now. Getting out of the tech makes you think, makes you sharp, and makes you more well-rounded. That's the problem with technical people. They're kind of like cut in corners. That's not how life is. And actually, that I kind of like the curve here. I was actually going to change the logo and make it more rigid, but I'm like, oh, that's better to have curves. Not to cut corners, but be more well-rounded. That's a better way of looking at it. Um, you know, stuff like that. All right, it's 3:58. Have a great day. I'm Steven Clickford. That's the story. More news is next. The news wheel does come back on with John Cricino at the desk.